Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. It is Thursday, July 15th. Time to get you caught up on Raid Shadow Legends and what is coming up this weekend because we have got a 10x launching tomorrow. I will get you everything you need to know about the champions in that and whether you should pull or not, plus getting you caught up on everything going on in Raid currently. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, you know the drill. We go typically with 2x, 10x, 2x, 10x, which means we just had 2x ancients, which means now we're going to be moving towards a 10x event. And just to remind you about the rotation of the shards, they are going to go ancient, sacred, void, which means next weekend here in about 7 or 8 days, we should have 2x sacreds launching. But in terms of this weekend and the champions in the 10x, it is going to be URSUGA Warcaller, Helior, interesting choice, Abyss, Elder Scarg, Godseeker, Mordecai, Giscard, and Armina. So now let's go through really quickly, and I'll just give you a quick synopsis on what I think of these champions. So first up is the crown jewel of this 10x, the most sought after champion in it, in my opinion, and that is going to be URSUGA Warcaller. Now, URSUGA Warcaller has ally protection in her kit, and we're learning a lot about ally protection recently. It's got some pretty insane value when built in the right teams and the way it functions, and we're really starting to figure out how to unlock the power of ally protection. It's becoming like the world record type team for clan boss compositions and stuff like that. So URSUGA just has an amazing kit in general, awesome base stats, and definitely a really good champion for almost anyone to have. Helior is an interesting choice because he just had his sacred event where you were like guaranteed to get him as a bonus if you pulled a certain amount of sacred shards. One of the coolest aesthetic champions in the game. I do have a dedicated video on him with a nice infographic that encompasses everything about him in one image, but the main calling card of Helior, I think, is the really cool mechanic where it says converts the champion's resistance into additional accuracy when using the skill. So you can build him as a super resistant champion, and then the one time that he needs accuracy, he's going to convert that resistance into accuracy. So also the mastery that gives you 50 resistance, it's basically like double dipping and getting 50 resistance and 50 accuracy, so it makes that mastery insane. So yeah, some cool things going on with Helior. Definitely a fun champion, but an interesting choice for the 10x given how we just had an event for him. Then we've got Abyss from the Sacred Order, and I mean, Abyss is okay. As a damage dealer, there's really not a whole lot to talk about that stands out. We've got AoE, defense break on a 3-turn cooldown when booked, and more AoE here. So yeah, like an okay damage dealer. There's just like, I wouldn't really like go YOLOing shards going for Abyss or anything. And the last legendary in this 10x is Elder Scarg. Now, Elder Scarg I think is a little bit better than Abyss. We've got an A1 that can decrease speed. There's some fun things to do in the spider based around HP burn. He's got some cool stuff in terms of being self-sufficient, can be really good in faction wars, has got pretty good base stats with 105 speed and 1630 attack. So I mean, yeah, Elder Scarg's fine, and you can do some fun things with him. I would rank him ahead of Abyss at least. Now let's move into the epics, and we've got the first one up here, the Void Epic Godseeker. Kind of a newer champion added to Raid, and just a pretty generally solid support. Lots of heals on the A1 coming through consistently. She scales with defense, which is cool, so she's nice and sturdy. A 3-turn booked AoE that's going to heal and do a lot of buff manipulation both on enemies and allies, so definitely a cool ability there for an epic. And then also she's got some revive built in and a crazy passive to add value as well. So yeah, definitely a really good support and a good addition to most accounts, especially the ones that are trying to progress. Then we've got Mordecai, who's also a newer champion to Raid, and definitely the thing you need to know about Mordecai is he's going to be mainly used for HP burn strats in the spider, which over the last few months or so, HP burn has really become the staple for the spider ever since they added stages 21 through 25, and they changed how the nuking mechanic works on those upper stages, like your Heart Seekers from Cold Heart, your Septimus, your Royal Guard. That stuff is not nearly as impactful, so we're seeing a transition in the spider meta to HP burn, Mordecai has got an AoE super reliable HP burn. So you're seeing a lot of teams with like Mordecai and a Shock that are doing some of this HP burn, leave the spiderlings alive type teams that burn the spider down, and Mordecai is definitely awesome in that role. Giscard is also in this 10x, and if you don't remember, there was a funny situation around Giscard. When he first got announced as a teaser for like the test server as a champion, this Lion's Roar, you could get this to a 2-turn cooldown. So it was an AoE provoke based on defense, and it placed shields, and you could get it to a 2-turn cooldown. So I did a collab with my good friend Coldbrew, and we were like, are you serious? Like, is this going to be the best epic in the game? Like a 2-turn AoE provoke that scales with defense and places shield. So yeah, would have been an insane ability. Plarium got that changed within like 10 hours and got it to a 3-turn cooldown, which I think is what it was always supposed to be. Like, I don't think they would put an epic champion to have a 2-turn AoE provoke with shielding. So I think that's what they intended it to be. But yeah, it was that was kind of the thing that stands out to me in terms of Giscard. But yeah, he's an okay epic. Do I think he's a top 5, top 10 epic in the game or anything? No, but he's a pretty solid epic and can be good for Bannerlords, Faction Wars, kind of like rounding out your team and helping you progress if you're a new player. And then the last champion is going to be Armina. Armina's got stun on the A1 and AoE defense break. That used to be insane. That used to be really, really sought after, which is why like War Maiden is always thought of as one of the best rares, because War Maiden has the AoE defense break, this one right here that you can farm as a new player in the campaign. But they've, like, since that theory kind of took hold, they've been adding a lot of AoE defense break. So Armina is one of those that has been added that brings that role to the table. But yeah, I don't think Armina is like an S tier epic, but definitely pretty good for your early to mid players that are still really trying to progress and round out Faction Wars teams. So yeah, that's all the champions in the 10x. Remember, it's going to be URSUGA, Warcaller, Helior, Abyss, Elder Scar, Godseeker, Mordecai, Giscard, and Armina. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, in general, you guys know my thought process on 10x's by now. Like, I would recommend using them as an epic chasing event, because that's a lot more realistic and it makes like a good chance to actually get something you're going after. So if you see something like a Madame Ceres or a Maneater or a Miscreated Monster, one of these crazy epics that you want, I think using 10x's in that situation to go after that epic is really good. I don't really like going after the legendaries in 10x's unless you are a high spender endgame player who is legendary collecting. Then that would make sense. But for like 90-something% of you out there, I think the optimal route, if you're not really looking for one of these epics, is to hold off until the next 2x. And the next one, like I said earlier, is going to be 2x Sacreds coming up next weekend here in about 7 or 8 days. And remember, we have got the Versolth the Grim fragment event finishing up soon here. It is wrapping up. I do have the fragments 105 over 100, so I'm probably going to hold off maybe until I get a champion chase event, scoop up some free points, claim him during that, because the fragments are here ready to go. I've actually got a lot ready for the next fragment event. You can see I got Versolth, Urost, Rule, and Archmage. So as soon as it really makes sense to double dip my points, I will go ahead and claim those. But yeah, Versolth is going to be ending soon, so you're going to want to make sure you are focusing on the tournaments and events going on right now. Under tournaments, the Classic Arena Takedown is going to be one of the last ones, so you're going to want to make sure you get the 280 points on the right side. The Classic Arena ones are usually typically the easiest way to get some of the points or some of the fragment like pieces that you need for the event. The Ice Golem tournament is live right now for another day and a half or so, and there are fragments up for grabs there. And then the Champion Training Tournament, there are core hammers and 10 fragments on the right side, so it might be worth thinking about getting to 5,000 points over there, and if you keep going, you'll get an epic book out of it as well. Then under the events tab, in terms of what we got going on, there is a summon rush that's going to be coinciding with the 10x that we just talked about when we went over all the champions. So that's going to act as a pseudo countdown for the 10x launching typically. But as always, if you're really participating in the 10x, you want to confirm and click on the portal, click the information, make sure it's actually live before you pull shards, but that should be acting as a pseudo countdown. Then we've got Artifact Enhancement going live right now. The top row is going to get you what you need for your fragments, the 2,000 points there to keep pace and scoop up the last stuff for Versolf. And then we've got the Dungeon Divers, same drill, the top row, but then we've also got a bonus of 10 down here at 3,400 on the bottom row. So that's going to be double dipping with the Ice Golem. So let's head on into the shop and see what we've got going on here. Special silver pack. This is not going to be a great route to go down, in my opinion. 5,150,000 gems. Yeah, 1.15. So I'm not going to be going down that route. Then for the monthly pack, you know the drill. It's usually between a 2.4 and 2.6, depending on which version of the monthly pack you're getting based on your spending tier for your account. The Great Deal Mix Pack. Okay, so this is going to be coinciding with the champion training. Lots of chicken here. So let's go 250k. And then we're going to go 8 4-star chicken. And be 5 of the 5 stars, 1.54. So yeah, not enough in my opinion, but definitely makes more sense for beginners than endgame players. Savage 6-star epic. That's a good purchase for high spenders that are really trying to compete in the arena. But for 99% of you out there, this does not make sense to spend this on the Savage set. And I also quickly want to let you know about the other game that I play, which is Summoner's Glory. They've got an event coming up that's going to be going from July 17th to July 23rd. And Summoner's Glory is really ramping up. They're adding stuff. They're patching things in. They're really fleshing out the game and getting more and more going on in Summoner's Glory. So I definitely recommend participating in that event. The game is free to play and should be a good time to dive in. I'm also going to be doing some giveaways for the first 5 people to DM me on Discord. I have a code for you to get a bunch of essence in Summoner's Glory. So literally add me, DM me, you're interested, boom, I will give you a code and you're off and running to spend those resources on Summoner's Glory. In this event, you're going to be able to earn a bunch of things like gold summoning books, vigor potions, which is basically energy, and the game has a promo code Chofly right there where you can start out with some free stuff if you haven't played it yet. Just make sure you go on server 3 because that's the server I play on. It's the newest one that you can participate in. So yeah, if you haven't tried it out, I definitely recommend it because the game is ramping up a lot recently. So that is going to do it for what I wanted to get covered in this video. It should be an exciting time coming up. We've got probably the biggest promotion type thing that Plarium's ever done. We had the Amazon Prime thing. Now we're getting the Ninja promo thing where they are going to be using the big streamer Ninja. I believe he does mainly Fortnite and stuff, but he's got millions of followers, like millions of a fan base that watches his content, and they're going to be putting his likeness in the game as a Shadowkin legendary, basically as a login reward. So that should be launching pretty soon here, and it's going to be exciting to see how all of that shakes out. So if you're watching this video right when it came out, down below in the pinned comment, there's a link if you want to come hang out and say hi on stream. We'll be hanging out for the next few hours if you want to stop by and say hi. So that'll do it for this one. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.